Hi everybody, welcome to Taji's World of Books and welcome to my September TBR. Hey you guys, so welcome back. So I figured I would go ahead and put up my September TBR. It is going to be ambitious as usual. We're gonna see how many of these I actually get through. I'm really excited about September. I have some really cool books that I plan on reading, all dark and dirty and dingy and just really exciting. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and right now I'm drinking orange blossom spice tea because it's starting to get a little bit crisp in the morning and a little bit crisp in the evening. You can see that fall is starting to sort of come in, and so I really like to drink orange spice tea around this time because I love the fragrance. That and peppermint tea are like my absolute favorite, so like in the evening, this is what I enjoy. As usual, you guys know that I go into most of these books blind, so I'm not going to talk about too much about what the books are about because I have no idea. So I'm going to tell you what I think they're about, and that can totally be wrong. It could be like way off base. I don't know. But rest assured, I will read them and I will post a review so you guys can find out whether or not they're worth your while, since we're all here together because we enjoy the same sort of content. So, having said that, I'm super excited to get into T.L. Swan's The Mile High Club. I purposely held off on reading this series because, as you know, I read in series and I don't like to wait a year or 6 months or whatever and have to reread a whole bunch of books so that I can remember what happened in the first book so I can look at the subsequent. I'm not doing that, so I just waited. So the first one is The Stopover, the second book is The Takeover, and then the third book that just came out is The Casanova, and I am really excited. I think that this is about a billionaire CEO type situation, and he has a layover and meets a chick, and it's angsty, and I heard it's really good, and I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to know anything about it, and I'm super excited. So I think I'll probably start with these first. Then I heard about this one on TikTok, I think. And this is how twisted my brain is. The minute that somebody says, when they post a review like on Amazon, I think I heard about it on TikTok and then I went on Amazon and checked it out and it was like, what the hell did I just read? Like, what is this debauchery? I was like, ding ding. I was like, what? Let me check this out. Like, if you're saying something like this is debauched and this is twisted and this is like crazy, I'm like, I'm all in. You've just basically written a ticket that said, come buy me. So I did that. I don't know much about it. If you guys know about R.I.P. or Rest in Peace, all I know is that it's Malachi and Adriel, and I think that there are siblings, and there is dubious consent, non-consent, murder, twisted, backwards, like type, what did I just read? What did I just read kind of stuff. So I heard some people say that they couldn't do it and they had to put it down. I heard other people say it's like a 5-star, like absolutely stellar. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, you guys, but I'm rest assured I'm gonna tell you about it. So I'm gonna read that, and I think I'm gonna read it pretty soon because I want to tell you guys. So if you guys want to read it too, so like I said, it's messed up from what I heard. It's like it's the Courtney family. We are the Courtney family, and this is a story about how it all went wrong. So I just think it's twisted. I have no idea. I don't know if they have an HEA. I don't know anything about it, but I'm excited to read it, so I'll let you know about that. And this is by Charity B. I don't know. I haven't read anything by her, but we're going to try it. Okay. So then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Old Faithful. And again, I went crazy because I saw one of the books was released on audiobook, and so I've been waiting to finish the series, so I'll tell you here in a minute. So my old girl, Faithful, Sierra Simone, she was one of the first authors that I read that were like Menage and Exotica and like, you know, like really spicy, and I was like, oh my God, this is Sierra Simone, she's like amazing. And then I like got into this whole world. So this is one of the first series that I read when I started back finding my love of reading, and so I haven't read it since then, and I still think about it to this day. Like, it really it's the new Camelot series. I know many of you probably have already read it. I'm gonna reread it, and so I believe that the order, yeah, so the order is American Queen, American Prince, and American King. So basically this is a menage story about, she is basically raised in, like, think of like American royalty, but American politics. So she's been raised and reared in politics her entire life. She has a family legacy of being involved in politics. And at a very young age, she's at a party and she meets, her name is Greer, and she meets Maxim, I believe is his name, at a very young age. But he's quite older and he is a presidential hopeful. So the story moves forward and these two, he's the president and he's the vice president, and stuff goes down between these two, and it's a menage, and it's spicy and it's steamy, and I can't wait to reread it. I absolutely loved it. It was really, really good. And the reason that I'm gonna reread it is because I went on Sierra Simone's website because I was really excited about her Thorn Chapel series, which I have read part of, but I did what I said I don't like to do, which is I read some of them and then had to put it down because the rest of the books weren't out. So now I gotta go back and reread it. So I'm gonna do it the proper way that I should have. So there's a crossover novella, which is American Squire, and he is a former presidential Ryan Belvedere, presidential hopeful, that's involved in this series. My understanding is that this wraps up this series, and then it crosses over to the Thorn Chapel series. So then I'm gonna go into the Thorn Chapel series. And the first book is A Lesson in Thorns, which I have already read and I'm gonna reread again. Then the next book is A Feast of Sparks, which I have already read and I'm gonna read again. Harvest of Sighs. And then I am waiting Door of Bruises, which just came out on audiobook this week. And I'll put it over here. Came out this week, and I'm waiting to get the book. The book will come in on Friday as well, so I will read those. And this series is basically about I believe it's 4 groups of friends that are, no, 6 children. They all grew up together. There's some kind of mystery. There's the heir, the dreamer, the priest, the genius, the socialite, and the saint. They are going on some mystical kind of journey, trying to find out what happened to her parents and what this all means and how this all ties into them. I don't know what happens. I know what happens in the first 2 books. Again, it's menage and thruples and quadruples, and I don't know what's going on, but it's craziness, and I'm super excited. I can't wait for Door of Bruises to come, and I'm super excited. And so I will tell you what I think about those. So then I also am gonna read, and so I am gonna, as I have blabbered on about how I'm not gonna break tradition, and I'm only gonna read things in series, and I gotta do this. Well, Charles from Books on Stereo talked me into reading The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie, and so he and I are gonna be buddy reading this, so I am gonna collab with Charles. We're going to talk about how we're going to get this to you, but I'm going to go ahead and break tradition. Thank you, Charles, for pushing me out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to go ahead and read this book as a standalone, and I'll finish up the rest of the series later, but this just is out on audiobook now as well, and so I'm going to go ahead and read it now. And like I said, I will link Charles's channel down below. He's got some awesome author interviews and author spotlights and like just hangouts with authors. Really, really cool. Great content, go check them out. But we will bring our thoughts to you on The Sweetest Oblivion as soon as we read it, so more to come on that. Okay, so then one of my other really, really beloved authors that I really love, everything that she writes, I have read, I own all of her books so far, is Carrion Cole. And this book, Don't Kiss the Bride, has been out for quite some time, but the audiobook was just released. And she tends to write very emotional, very angsty sort of love stories that are heartfelt and very touching and very emotional, and people have to go through the ups and downs of the arc and the character development to get their HEA, but they ultimately do, but they have to work for it, and she makes them work for it. That's what I know of all of her other books, and I expect this to be no different. I believe that there is some overlap with some of her other books, like No Tomorrow. Some of the guys from there are here as well. I'm not sure. I don't care to know. I'm just happy to get into this and to go ahead and read it and share my thoughts with you. So I'm excited to do this Carrie and Cole. All right. So then the last books that I'm going to talk about, and forgive me because I don't know the order. Let me see if I can find the order of these books. These are menages. I think this is going to be the month of menages, you guys. Like, this is just going to be all about like thruples and menages. And all right, so I'm going to find out and see how these all relate. The series is called Their Vampire Queen series. There are 3 novellas in this series. There is Queen Takes Camelot, Queen Takes Jaguars, and then there's one more that I don't have, and I'm not sure, Queen Takes Avalon. And I'm not sure why I don't have that, but I will rectify that. So these are the 3 novellas in the series, and I'm not sure where they are read in relation to the series. I think they're read after, but I'm going to check it out, and I will let you know for sure. But the series goes as Queen Takes Knight, Queen Takes King, Queen Takes Queen, Queen Takes Rook. They're very shiny. Queen Takes Checkmate, and Queen Takes Triune. So my understanding is that this is a vampire paranormal romance with lots of blood sport and blood play and thruple type situation. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. So this seems to me to be the perfect thing to kind of usher in like the fall months in September, going into October, where I like to start getting going with my spooky stuff. So this is a perfect time to read this, so I'm super excited about that. I think what I'll do is save that for the end of September, because that'll really be ushering in the month of October, so that we can read all of our thriller kind of sexy, spooky type situations. And then lastly, and I was planning to get to this series last month, but again, I was way ambitious and I did not get to it. And so that's okay. And so I'm not going to go through the details of this. Again, it's another menage type situation, fantasy, paranormal romance. I'm super excited. It's Katie Roberts series. And I'm not going to say that this is the correct order of how it goes. I think this is the correct order, but it's A Worthy Opponent, Learn My Lesson, Desperate Measure, The Beast, The Sea Witch, Wicked Villain Short Stories, Queen Takes Rose. And so that's her Wicked Villain series. It's been around for a long time, and so it is time for me to dive into it and share my thoughts with you guys about what I think about it. But as you can see, I have an ambitious reading month plan. Also, not only is it really ambitious, but I'm super excited about it, because it's all going to be things that are going to keep my interest, that are going to capture my interest. They're going to be spicy, they're going to be angsty, there's going to be some drama, there's going to be some intrigue, there's going to be a little bit of this and that. And then I think after I go through that, then I'll do a couple palate cleansers where I might pick up, like, you know, a fiction or a YA or a new adult type book to kind of like offset a little bit, to palate cleanse, and then to go into something else. So if you guys have read any of these books, please leave in the comments down below and tell me what you think about it. If you're going to be super excited about it, or if you've already read it, what your thoughts were, and if you loved it. But if not, share with you guys my thoughts on what I think about these. And then I've got some other things planned for you guys. I've got some book unboxing, and you guys have sent me some cool stuff that I'm super grateful for, and I want to give you shout outs and thank you for doing that. So I'll do that in the next video. But you guys, that is all that I have. So if you like hanging out with me, please like and subscribe. And you know I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so please come hang out with me some more and listen to me ramble on about all the books that I love and that you guys love as well. So that is all that I have for today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!